So since this masterclass has started, we've been talking more about the perspective of event management companies or event professionals, or the different creative professionals talking about how to go about what should be the thought process. So everywhere it was from our side, But now I'm inviting this personality who will talk more about from the client's perspective, because it is very important for us to understand how we have to work towards clients, what you say, for his return of investment or for his instant gratification or for his, his mindset. So taking this opportunity to invite Mr. Sandip Pattanaik, who is the National Head of Experiential Marketing in New Era from Kestone. Everybody, please put your hands together. He has an 18 years of rich experience, and we are so glad to have you here to please share the various case studies of your own, own experience, and of course, the others also. Thank you.
Thank you, Shefali. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the patience. I don't know how will I cover it after Piyush, Brian, Siddharth, and Neeraj and the panel discussion. So before it gets darker and I become invisible, I'll try to finish it in 5-10 minutes, right? So a couple of things, three things I'll talk about, right? And the customer experience, and it's very difficult to please a customer nowadays, and especially post-pandemic, right? Because everything is technology, they don't have time, right? And they don't go to an event if they don't see value, right? I heard Piyush, right? And he's my boss, by the way. So in the interest of losing my job, so I'll try to keep it very simple, right? So a couple of things, right? So what a customer they see when they come to an event, right? It starts pre-event itself, right? So we are into audience generation business as well. The sales starts from there, right? Every client, what they focus about? They focus about sales. They want to make money. They want return on investment. So what they do? When the brief comes to us, they tell us like that, give me a plan from where from the day zero itself, my sales guys will connect to the customers, right? And there are various ways to do that, right? And if you have I'll give you a nice example, right? In Burger King and McDonald's, they're the superb rivalries, and they come up with superb genius marketing ideas. So Burger King had an app, right? And that app says you go to a McDonald's store, right? And you have the menu of McDonald's there, right? And the cheapest burger you will get from Burger King app, right? McDonald's did the other way around. So what they did is that within 600 perimeter, right? If you have a Burger King place, they'll guide you there. So what it happens in this, right? The download of the app, it got million trillion downloads, right? What are the best way to do that? That's what a client looks for nowadays, right? When you step into an event, the brief is very simple, right? At every touch point, I need to do a sell, starting from the registration desk itself, right? And gone are those days where, yes, we do large format events, big stage, big entertainers, but the companies are more focused on sales now, right? And how to do that, right? There are very simple steps. Your communication has to be very straightforward, right? And it should talk about what the brand is looking for, right? Rather than, there is a lot of creative ways to do that. And creative, it doesn't mean that it has to be very glitz and glamour. It has to be number focused as well, right? Very straightforward messaging. My brand shows like this. Your interest is in this. Why don't you come to my event, right? And in post-pandemic, it is even more important, right? We are talking in virtual scenario. We are talking through virtual events. We are talking through web conferencing. So even though the communication is very, very important, the attention span is what we have done about 2,000 virtual events in those 2 years, 2020 to 22. The analysis says that the attention span of a consumer is 2 to 3 minutes in a 2 hours of event, right? So it is very important that what we are talking through the brand, it should be very, very clear, right? Now coming to on-ground event, right? We are talking about a large format event, right? Which has a lot of pull to the event, right? The agenda is very, very important. The client says that, why should my consumer or an attendee come to an event? The agenda has to be built that way. It cannot be session heavy. It cannot be lot of talks. It cannot be 45-minute sessions, right? So it has to be built very, very carefully, right? And having said that, of course, the entertainment part comes to that. Nowadays, earlier, it's all big names, right? And we call Arijit Singh to a show, right? But now, every time the client is asking why I should call Arijit, is he resonating my brand, right? Why can't I call XYZ, right? Who is more specific to my brand, right? So the point is that every time from a client point of view, every touch point, right, there is a sales involved in that, right? So as event managers and as the event agency, what we should do is that focus more on what client brand is speaking, right? Rather than just pushing our ideas or just giving an reference, look at the brief what they have given and work accordingly, right? So that's the point. I'll not take much time, right, because we'll get into the award. And thank you uh, for the patience for waiting till that time. Thanks for the nice audience. Thank you so much, Safali.